Welcome to match one of the IPL, the International Premier League 10-10 tournament. Mumbai Indians versus the Chennai Super Kings. Oh yes, this is what it's all about. The teams are selected. Big thanks to the guys who put in the custom teams and custom player faces for Ashes, a game from Big Ant. That's what we're using for this. It's a 10-10 game, so it plays out in about 40-45 minutes normally. We've got the latest teams, I think, for all the teams in the actual Indian Premier League. We've made the changes. We've Warner and Smith are unfortunately out, and they'll be sorely missed. But Hales and whatnot, they're into their respective teams, so that should be correct. And we start off with Mumbai Indians versus the Chennai Super Kings. I think it will give us a quick look at the lineup here. So there we go. Just pause on that a moment. Very strong spin bowling from the Chennai Super Kings. They've got Dwayne Bravo and it's gone. Yeah, they've got sort of four spinners if you include Harbhajan Singh and Jadeja and who else have they got? Yeah, they've got three frontline spinners. So here comes the all important toss. Chennai Super Kings called. They've called heads and they've won the toss. And what are they going to do? It's a dry pitch. It's slightly wearing. That's probably why the sides have gone for a spin heavy option. But I imagine they'll open with seamers. Come on, the ground's got to be fuller than that. In real life, this ground will be absolutely ram packed. Here we go. It's Subra Tiwari, and who's that opening with him? It's not going to tell me. I'm not going to see his back. Right, it's Thacker to open the bowling. Right, so despite having three spinners, they're going with a seamer. I'm just going to make a quick change to the game here. Settings. I think it's in general settings. Yeah, here it is. Camera bowling. We'll have broadcast. Thank you very much. Yeah, off we go. Okay, off we go. So it's coming on a wide run up to Tiwari, and that's outside, off stump. It's short and it's wide. There's a man at, it looked like Harbhajan Singh out there, on a square leg boundary. And right, okay, well that was one short one. Yadav is of course opening. Didn't seem to be a lot of movement on that ball. I'm not sure how many overs the seamers are going to bowl early doors here. That's pitched well up. Oh, that was a half volley. It's probably, yes, it's just gone over the boundary. 10-10, so we're going to get very high scores. In 10-10, they tend to score about 80% of the runs they score in 2020. In the few practice games we played before the IPL in 2018 started, we were getting scores of about 130 on average, which is only sort of 20 or 30 less than you get in a 20 over game. So the ball's going to be flying from ball one, and a half volley like that gets what it deserves. It's another short one, but this one comes back in. Now that one came back in sharp, and it's hit out to mid-off. That's good. Anything less than sort of 12 and over is good. So 2 a ball is about the mark when there's only 10 overs to bat and 10 wickets to lose. That's pretty good. And that's over-pitched. And as usual, an over-pitched ball falling the batsman a little bit. They're not expecting it. If you think about AB de Villiers talking about looking down in the box in front of you, well, it never lands in the box if it's a full toss. It can put a good batsman off. That's over pitched as well. He's not missed out this time. That's driven square. He's saved by the man on the point boundary. Good throw back in. And of course it's MS Dhoni keeping wicket there. I'm surprised he's not stood up. I know the game does have the option for him to stand up to most seamers, and that's in the air. Well, I think an orthodox cover, or certainly a cover point, might have been in business there, but not on this occasion. And that's a good over. That's a good over. Anything less than 12 is a good over, because the average score in 10 overs is about 130. Not particularly well grouped, but you know, whether we got away with it or not. Right, it's Dwayne Bravo. Okay, so Dwayne Bravo, 34 years old now. Dwayne doesn't play a lot for the West Indies anymore. He's one of the overseas players. Let's see what this first ball's like. And that's a beaut! Oh my goodness. Tiwari goes, and I think that slowed down off the pitch. It's a slow pitch. Tiwari goes, 4 minutes, 3 balls, and let's have a look. Yeah, yeah, I think he thought he was going down leg, so it was a strange shot to play. And it knocks leg stump out the ground. So in comes Rohit Sharma. And this is a great start from Chennai Super Kings. What can Rohit do about it? And that's a little bit short. It was moved away, to be fair. It was only wide because he got a bit of away movement. And that just reaches the boundary at third man, between third man and backward point. And that signals a 4 by the umpire. Bit of stuttering there. Sorry, my hard drive's updating some stuff at the moment as well. I should have dealt with that beforehand. Come on, Dwayne, sort your life out. Into Rohit Sharma, and that one comes in. Oh my goodness, that was like a boomerang ball, and I'm not sure who that is. Long off, but he's not that long on, not that interested in fetching the ball. You watch that sail over his head, and if you watch this ball tail in at the end, so that was a real in swinger, and it's just been in swung for 6. So wicket the first ball, but now he's really got to bowl tightly in the last 3 balls of this over. Remember, a bowler only gets 2 overs in this, and that was going down leg side, and that cramped the batsman, and that's a decent recovery. So Sharma's still on 10, now off 3 balls. In comes Bravo. He's bowling off a straighter run up now, is he? I didn't watch that closely. And again, that one was aimed at leg, released from the hand, then swung towards middle and off. So sort of an away swinger, but starting very straight. That's a single. Well, if this ball goes for less than 2, it's a half decent over in terms of runs. Into your Dav. That's short, and your Dav only can chop that off the bottom edge of the bat into the ground, and that ended up 11 off the over. It doesn't matter that that's one above shoulder height, because that's the last ball of the over. So a little bit below par, and I thought they'd bring the spinners on, but no. Thacker's bowling his second over. Of course, this is his last over. He bowled a brilliant first over, and what was that? I don't know how the ball ended up there. I'm going to take a sip of coffee while I think about this shot. The umpire's resplendent in the pink there. Yeah, it's well, I don't know, it's an outside edge, it's a guide. But no way should that have been 6 runs. 222 for 2 at T. Obviously it isn't. 15. Shako's gone 4 in 7 balls, so you need to bring that back. That one swings in, and that's driven. It's sort of a muffed shot, flannelled it to orthodox mid-off. Thacker can still, if he goes for less than 22, it's a very good spell. He's got 4 balls left of his spell. They're going to bowl him out, which is unusual. And that's short. Oh my goodness, that was just rubbish. Yeah, it bounced a couple of times. The slip isn't in orthodox first slip position. He's a little bit wider. If you play this game in test match mode, you'll know that normally first slip would stand a good yard closer. He's sort of between first and second slip, which is the modern way of thinking you're covering more ground, and it's Faf du Plessis there who lets that go. Has he gone wider? Well, that's opening the stable door after the stable door's already been opened. And that drifts onto leg stump. And it's just clipped to mid-wicket where it's fielded. So he just needs to rule out that short wide one, because that's the one that's giving him some grief at the moment. Oh, lovely. Straight to mid-wicket again. And a run. Oh, well, he couldn't get back to cover the stumps in time. So they've actually got a square mid-wicket and a wider mid-wicket, sort of. And in he comes again. Last ball, the over's gone for 11 so far, and that's a defensive shot. So it's the movement he's getting. So the ball's getting some swing. Now there's no cloud, so this is obviously new ball swing, and it's now lasted for 3 overs, which is unusual. And let's have a look. Yeah, a couple of those balls hitting the stumps. That's fair enough. So who's coming on now? Well, Bravo's going to bowl out. This is unusual. They do have another seamer. Bravo, that could be out. Yes, it stopped in the pitch. And Sharma went through with this shot. A great innings, really, in the context of a 10-over game. 10 balls, 22 runs with a strike rate of 220. But Bravo gets the wicket. It's caught by Shane Watson at mid-off. And, well, yes, indeed. Well, they've got plenty of firepower with batting as well. Is it Ngidi, the other seamer I'm thinking they might have? Yeah, an easy catch in the end. He throws the ball up, but it wasn't particularly difficult, was it? And here comes Siddesh Lad, and he's got a point to prove. What can we find out about Siddesh Lad? Hang on, let's let him see his first ball first. In comes Bravo. and he drives that out to cover. Yeah, it's fielded easily out there. And what can we say about him? On that, well, he should have left that. That was going down leg side quite easily, and in the end, fluffed to backward square leg. Not a very good shot. Was it Mitchell Santner? Who was the other bowler he had? Well, we'll find out. And that's clipped, and that bounces once on the way to the boundary, goes for 4. It's a slower ball from Bravo in the 70s, and the umpire striking in his salmon pink shirt. So Bravo's now about to bowl out. He's taken 2 for 16, so this is really good. If you can go for less than 8 in these next 2 balls, he's done very well. Oh, and that was short, and that's top edge. There's nobody down there. I don't think the batsman had any control over that whatsoever. It was, I think we'll watch a replay of this. I think it hit very high up on the bat, close to the batsman's shoulder. Here it is. It is properly short, but it's well directed. Yeah, that came off very high on the bat and the edge, and well, a very fine leg might have stood a chance there. It's a good place to hit the ball directly behind the keeper, even if you don't mean it. Last ball for Bravo's spell. In he comes. That starts wide, and that's a great diving stop there. Brilliant stuff there. Back at third man, and the throws back in. So Bravo finishes his spell. He takes 2 wickets, and well, that's what you want from your overseas player. The 41 for 2. Right, in comes Imran Tahir. Unfortunately, the game doesn't mimic his celebrations. Okay, he's got a strong onside field, so expect him to bowl a lot of googlies, I'd imagine. It looks like a 4-5 field, and well, yeah, Tahir often starts with that, doesn't he? He often tries to bowl the googly as his first ball. He probably bowls more googlies than he does leg spinners, or googlies or straight honers. Well, I don't know whether this did anything because it was a half volley. He didn't have the chance to do anything. Certainly didn't drift in the air. And once you've beaten the mid on and mid off, it's a free hit. Although there is a wide long off. And that was fluffed, but you might get 4 for that because they haven't got anybody out there. That was a lucky boundary. It looked like he was looking to hit straighter than that, but it goes for 4 again. We won't bother watching the replay there. We'll get through these overs. Okay. So Yadav is playing very well here. And that does loop. And Yadav cracks that backward a point for 4. Third man runs round, can't get to it. And that's another good boundary. Let's see how he deals with this. So they've got a slip, and that doesn't worry him. It's unusual because they've got a 4-5 field, so he should really be aiming for leg stump or middling off and bowling googlies. But he's bowling middling off and bowling leg spinners with only 4 men covering that side of the field. It's an unusual tactic. Right, that's more like it. That could be out. That was, you could tell that was more like it all the way down. What's the umpire going to say? And he's not going to give it, and they're not going to review. Reviews are in this game as well. And yeah, Dhoni's a bit. Yeah, that was a good shout. That drifted into the legs, and that was wide. He's gone the other way there, and he's got to stop bowling wide outside that off stump with only 4 men out there. And that, well, he's got the slip as well, but he's only got 4 men defending on the offside. For a leg spinner, you might even go for 6-3. So there we go. He's almost telegraphing. Yeah, he's got this little triangle of 3 fielders, this little circle of 3 fielders. He's almost telegraphing he's going to be bowling googlies with that field, but he's got away with it. The best moustache in cricket ever. Only Graham Gooch ever came close to Jadeja. Let's have a look. Ah, sorry, yeah. So I've missed that ball, and that's just chopped down. They haven't taken a run. Yeah, Ravi Jadeja, the best moustache in world cricket ever. I wish I could grow one as good as he has. It is just a... Is that out? It is out. What a ball. I think that was just a little bit quicker, and Faf, well, after dropping that catch a couple of overs ago, or letting that one go between himself and there's the moustache. He just about make it out from this distance. Legit ball. You can see the action he gets on that. Yeah, it's well pitched up, and he drives at a ball that moves away from him. So, well, great delivery. Here comes Hardik Pandya, one of my favourite cricketers, Hardik. Very popular player, hard-hitting batsman. Let's have a look. And Jadeja's just tying them in knots here. This is brilliant bowling. Now this is a dry pitch. This is a dry pitch, so we can't be guaranteed, can't be sure. He's in this game, he's got a moustache, but it's not as good as his real moustache, is it? Let's face it. Oh my goodness, and that back then pad, I'm not sure whether that bounced, whether Dhoni could have got round quicker. But Jadeja is tying them in knots, and probably justifying playing 3 specialist spinners. So I think they've got Harbhajan Singh as well. And that's driven out to a wide cover. Wow, what an over this is. What an over. 1 run so far, 5 balls. And he comes for his last ball of the over. And he's pitching everything up. And that's just, no, I think that's going slipping down offside. They've all gone up. I don't think they're going to review it. But that is probably the best over I've seen bowled in the 3 or 4 practice games I've had before this year's 10-10 IPL. So well played. Now who's going to come on partner him? It's Harbhajan. Yeah, they've just got quality spinner after quality spinner. He's got some great ink there, Harbhajan. This is going to be tricky. So Imran Tahir's taken off after 1 expensive over. And that's just dabbed into the onside, just backward a square. There's nobody on the point boundary, so regular point has to run back and fetch that. That's 4 runs. So I'm just taking another sip of coffee, and then he comes again to Yadav. He starts out wide, but it comes in, and he finds the gap between point and cover, and that's just going to be, it's going to be 2. Yeah, you can see down here at the bottom of the screen, the bottom right, you can see the batsman running, and at the top right you can see the field positions. So he's keeping the same field really as Imran Tahir had, which is straight, or very wide. I'm sure is that out? I think it is. I think it is. Well, it's a great inning from Yadav in the context of a 10-10 game, 36 off 17 balls. But again, this dry pitch, or this drying pitch, and the quality of the spin attack is playing through. So Duminy, who's playing as an all-rounder today, you can only imagine that the Mumbai Indians are seeing the amount this ball's doing off the pitch for the spinners, and that Duminy is going to be playing as an all-rounder today. That's a great line. Oh, well, that's... Is it high enough? It's gone high, but it hasn't gone far enough. Only just. There was a lot of height on that ball, and I think that only's just gone far enough. Yeah, it was. Well, he hit that high on the bat. If you look, it was up near the maker's name, and as the commentator cam shows, it was really given a lot of height and not that much distance. But he gets away with that 6. So. Singh into Duminy again, and he's cracked that, and again that's just wide of the fielder. There is a man out there, but he's too straight for that. And JP Duminy, another seasoned campaigner, somebody who knows the short form game like the back of his hand, been a solid performer for South Africa now for many years, and for all the T20 and T10 franchises he plays for. That's a brilliant shot. So this is nearly the end of 7th over, so we're over 2/3 of the way through the innings, but this over has cost a lot of runs, and that's chipped, and there's somebody there. That's a great diving stop, a really good throw, and that keeps him to a single, but that's still 17 runs off the over. I think it keeps Duminy on strike. Yeah, 72 for 4. So if anything though, overall the run rate's down. As I say, 130 is typical for a T10 game. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near that, but Jadeja's back on, and that's just hitting the air. And he's appealing for LBW, appealing for the catch. It's just everybody's appealing for everything. And he's got, yes, he's gone. Well, and it's Duminy. Well, the thing is with Jadeja, he's actually turning the ball. I'm not sure that Harbhajan was ripping it that much. But if you watch the ball landing from Jadeja here, and look at the wrist action. It's a really good length for a spinner, that as well. And he just pops it up. It was off the inside edge, then onto the pad. And as a short leg, you want to catch that easy, although it's Dhoni in the end that runs round to short leg to take that catch. That's brilliant. So Jadeja has taken 2 wickets for 1 run so far. Quality spin. And is there somebody there? He's just wide of the man at mid-off. And finally, it's Kieran Pollard now who comes in. Another season campaigner. These are two incredibly strong sides. And maybe this will be a game where 110 plays 110 or maybe even 100. But Jadeja now taking 2 for 5. It's still brilliant figures. And his length's impeccable. And, well, Pollard, over backward point for 6. Square drive. And the umpire raises both hands there. He's always grinning with his silly salmon pink shirt on. Yeah, it's wide. It was a little bit wide. And Pollard had time to just go through with the shot there. Jadeja's doing better when he's on the stumps or threatening the stumps with turn. So let's see if he's come a bit straighter. And that's it. That's exactly what he had to do. So why Jadeja's trying to tempt batsmen with wide deliveries, I don't know, because when he pitches on the stumps, he's getting turned. The ball seems to be stopping in the pitch, and he's taking wickets. So Kieran Pollard goes. So, well, here comes Ishan Kishan, another player who I think is going to have a fantastic future in world cricket. It's really, lots of you outside of India might not have heard of him, but he's an absolute star. And there we go. He's clobbered that first ball. It was on the stumps but short this time. Jadeja probably trying to hurry it through. It probably gives me the speed somewhere, but let's have a look here. It's definitely short. No, it's not that short. It turned a little bit away from him, but yeah, he crossbar shot against the spin. That's confidence. 14 runs and 2 wickets so far, 5 balls. This has been an action-packed over. Last ball of Jadeja's spell. And I think he gets an inside edge onto pad, and Dhoni fields that. As Faf du Plessis sort of looks a bit disinterested. Get off your arse, Faf. You've been played a fortune. Get on with it, mate. Right, so it's Pandya. They want Pandya on strike. He's the guy who can score a run rate of over 200, and that's what they need for these last 2 overs of the innings. And that's just beautiful. That's just timing. It's Harbhajan Singh, and Pandya just waited for that one. He waited for it to turn. It looked like it was there for the drive, or the off drive, but once it had turned, there you are, like it's outside off. Once it had turned, it was clearly just on middle and leg perhaps. And he just turns the wrist and guides that through wide mid wicket for 4 runs. Beautiful shot. So Pandya, well, that was his first run, so he had 4 dot balls before that. Singing again. This is wide, and it's driven along the ground. There is a fielder out there. Have they got time to come back for 2? No, they don't. They probably should have risked 2 there. There are only 10 balls left in the innings, and they've got to score 110. They really need to score that as a bare minimum. Kishan here. But some real action on that ball, and oh, he bottom edged that. As a bowler, you'd be thinking, they're coming back for 2. Is that wise? Should they have given Pandya the strike? Well, let's see. Let's see how this works out. Harbhajan Singh, and that's wide again. And I don't think he was expecting that, and he just drives that, almost a check drive to mid off. And yeah, Harbhajan got away with one there. That looked like a wide half volley to me, and probably should have gone sailing over the extra cover boundary, but it didn't. And he's cut that straight to slip. He actually played it there. That was like slip practice. Yeah, don't hit it straight to the fielder. I think they know they're probably 10 or 12 runs behind the 8 ball here. And in comes Pat Cummins. So again, Pandya probably should have been on strike. There's been a couple of wasted balls here. 2 runs off 3 balls, that includes a wicket, so not brilliant. Into Pat Cummins, and that turns. And Pat Cummins, probably sensibly, as his last ball of the over, drives it to short cover where it's fielded, and we're about to have the last over of the innings. 93 for 7, and it's going to be Imran Tahir, who had an expensive first over, 13. In the context of this game, that's expensive. I say normally that's about right, but let's see. He's coming into Hardik Pandya, and that's a little bit faster. And Pandya, wow, that's just a beautiful shot. Again, a little bit short. Imran Tahir seems to bowl well in longer spells. His first 2 balls of any spell seem to be a little bit indifferent. So I'm not sure of the wisdom of keep taking him on and off. And that's probably because he's getting a little bit older. and he's a little bit rusty when he first comes on, and he likes to get his rhythm and his bones warmed up. But that was a lovely shot. 97. Let's see how far past 100 they can get. Oh my goodness, and that's driven just past slip, and let's hope they go for 2. They do, and the man at, they're going to consider 3. They're coming back for 3. Wow. Okay, well that brings up the 100, and that's a good throw. It hits the base of the stumps at the bowler's end. It puts Pat Cummins on strike. Interesting. That's outside off stump. Pat Cummins drives it. Oh, that's not what you want, Pat. It's fielded there by Pollard. That's not a good shot. 3 balls left. Ideally they get to 110, so they need a couple of boundaries, and that's a faster one. And he drives that straight to mid-on, who's quite close, so there's no run there either. 2 balls left. Come on, Pat. Well, he has a... Yeah, you've got to run. You've got to get off strike, Pat. You better make up for this bowling, mate. This is turned into a really good over. 100, 10 and over is not that difficult in T10. It's a challenging target for T20, but in T10 it's not that difficult. And well, I think, who is the Mumbai Indians coach? Chennai Super Kings is Fleming, isn't it? Who's Mumbai Indians coach? Well, not going to be very happy with that. And there we go. Off they go, and just have an overview of the scorecard there. 36 from Yadav, 22 from Sharma, 12 from Pandya, 11 from Dumini, 10 from Pollard. 100 for 7, I'd say that's below par. I think Jadeja had a great deal to do with that, with 3 wickets and that stellar first over. No, it's not a big task ahead for the batsman, not at all. So it's Murali Vijay, and it's Jasprit Bumrah to bowl the first over. I don't know what I've done there. Need to get that back up. And in comes Jasprit Bumrah, and that's high on the bat. That only just goes over the fielder. Only just goes over the fielder. Murali Vijay clears it, and he's opening with Shane Watson. It hasn't got Jasprit's wonderful straight-armed action. Just reminds me of Graham Dilley, anybody who remembers old Picker. That straight arm and that, it's unique, and it's great to see that level of uniqueness in the game. So come on, Jasprit. Into Murali, and that's wide.
Whoa, where was that going?
Yeah, he got swing. I think that started a little bit wider, moved wider. It comes again. It's effectively 5 off 1 ball. So this isn't a very good target anyway for the Mumbai Indians. That's driven sort of flat-footed. It's a wide third man, or backward point. It's fielded, and in comes the throw. Shane Watson to face his first ball, another season campaigner, always a good overseas choice, good on dusty pitches with his medium pace seamers, and a hard hitting opening batsman. Oh, that's off the... Is that out? No, I think he hit that into the ground. Now, that's what Jasprit does. It's right up there, it's quick, and what a great ball that was. So he can still turn this over round. What a great ball to get first up. And that swings... Oh, and another one! Should have been a second slip. That's an outside edge. The commentators in this game aren't very good. They'll probably say what a great shot it was. It wasn't. It was an outside edge, and Watson's beaten twice, and the bowler's got nothing to show for it. Oh, I say, he's given him. No, he might. I got a feeling that was going down leg. Let's see if he reviews. Let's have a look. Is he going to review? No, he's walking off. Well, he didn't look comfortable. Here comes Suresh Raina. What a great over this is from Bumrah. 91 needed off 55 balls. And another well pitched up delivery. And you take 10, okay, there was a wide, you had to bowl the extra ball, but still he went for 10. More importantly, he got out a key wicket. So Pat Cummins, after that disastrous last over batting, Pat, what are you going to offer us? Field change, very odd field this, very even field, almost symmetrical, and that is quick. Oh, it's 84.1. It just looked quicker. But it, quicker onto the bat, quicker off to the bat, and Murali Vijay plays that through mid-wicket for 4. Yeah, it was length. Pat Cummins is a nose or toes bowler quite often in short form cricket. Yorkers and bouncers. Let's see what he comes up with next. He's trying for the bouncer. He's trying for the Yorker, sorry. Ends up with a leg side half volley. Well, Cummins is not having a good game here. Of course, he's just been part of that Australian team that have been through all the legal strife. You know, he's not implicated it at all himself. He's a very fine bowler. Has had some great matches in the recent series against South Africa. But yes, I thought that might be an edge. It is, and Murali Vijay's gone. I had a feeling as it went past. Is he going to review it? No, he walks off. In comes Faf du Plessis. He's one of my favourite cricketers, Faf. Just one of those people you think you'd like to go out and have a drink with. And that's why that's not the best shot in the world, only just clearing mid-on, but it's 4 runs. It's not a big target, and they're ahead of the run rate, but they have lost those 2 wickets. In comes Pat Cummins again. Oh my goodness, only just wide of the fielder. So they've hit a few boundaries, Chennai Super Kings, but a lot of them have been close to fielders or outside edges, but they are well up with a run rate and looking good. And Pat Cummins is bowling a lot of length and half volley, so he needs to change his length completely. And that's just a beautiful shot. The on drive. It's only the single, but it's going to keep Faf du Plessis on strike. Suresh Raina has only faced 1 ball so far. And Jasprit's going to bowl out, so they're not saving him for the end. Slightly different tactics being used here in 10-10 as opposed to 20-20. Oh, what a drive. Well, that ball moved in the air. You could see the flight. We'll watch that on replay, and you'll see the flight that Jasprit gets on the ball here. That's probably why they're keeping the seamers on. Yeah, actually started wide and went a bit wider, not the best. He's taken 1 for 14 and 7 balls. Well, he tries to tuck Faf du Plessis up here and just gets a single. That's a great throw back to the keeper, right over the top of the stumps. So Suresh Raina to face Jasprit Bumrah for the first time. Field moves around for the left-hander. That's down the leg side, and that was a great delivery. I don't know who moved first. Was it Suresh or was it Jasprit following him? But yeah, followed him. And they've changed the field again. They had 2 slips for that first ball, and now they've gone back to this sort of symmetrical 5-4 field. And that's short and wide, and just hit to the man on the 45 on the offside. And this is turning into a pretty good over. They need to recover the run rate a little bit, and that's what they seem to be doing. Bumrah in again, and that's short. That's really short. 83.7 miles per hour, so not super quick. Just hit off the back foot to Pollard in the covers. Bumrah in again. Last ball the over. This is turning into a very good over, and that's driven. There is a man out there, a backward point. Well, I don't know about 4 runs saved, but that's a good over. So Pat Cummins is going to have his second over. He can't bowl as badly as he did in his first. He went for 17. Can't let that happen again. Oh, well, he can. Luckily, there's a man out there. They'll take the single.
1 run there.
Good slide and stop on the point boundary. Field changes, so I'm expecting an outside off stump this ball. Yeah. So they've got a ring of 3 in the covers, man out at the point boundary, and now they're changing nearly every ball. They've gone back to the symmetrical looking pitch, except now they've got a deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and a deep third man. And there's nobody that side. And Suresh Raina says thank you very much. And that wasn't a high. That wasn't like Pandya's 6 earlier. That was low and flat and beautifully hit by Suresh Raina. He waited. He hit the ball late. And yeah, low and flat, and well, just carried on way over the boundary. The ropes are in a little bit for the T10 game. Perhaps mid-on or mid-off needs to come back in, and well, there we go. Yeah, perhaps mid-on, mid-off needs to go out and bring one of the fielders, perhaps a square leg fielder in, and just don't bowl outside leg stump. Right, they've gone back to the symmetrical field again. Slightly better over so far from Cummins if he can hold it together for these last 2 balls. And that is a good ball. 88.5, so he's finally working up some pace here, getting close to 90 miles an hour. Overall though, he's not covered himself in glory, facing too many dot balls when he batted. Abal, he's finished well. To be fair, his bowling's pretty good. A little bit more than he should have gone for, but not bad at all. Right, it's Rahul Chahar now, and this is where it changed. When the CSK bowled, it was their spinners. So let's see. They've got to slip in. Oh, I say. And that wasn't the spin. That if we'll watch this again. That was the curve of the ball. That was the revs on the ball, making it dip in. Darn it. Well, it brings MS Dhoni to the crease. And let's see how he gets on. Right, they've got a man out to deep mid-wicket boundary for MS Dhoni. So he pitches it outside off stump, and Dhoni starts off with a 6. So this doesn't dip in. The ball just against Faf du Plessis really dipped. It had a lot of swerve on it, a lot of revs on it. This was probably the straight honour, and that doesn't swerve in. The game does simulate all that. I'm not just talking out my backside. The game simulates all that. That one swerves in, you see. That started outside off and finished on leg, which is exactly where Dhoni was waiting for it. And he's a bit of a superstar, MS, isn't he? And the thing is, with 7 wickets still in the hutch, they're now turning this into a bit of a canter. The run rate's right down now. They need to get 2 or 3 wickets very, very quickly. They only need 1.5 runs a ball. Less than that, in fact. Well, that swerved. That was junk, though. And I think the bowler's lost it. I feel sorry for Chahar there. He's been hit for 2 sixes. He's trying to cramp Dhoni up, down the leg side, and ends up bowling junk. And Dhoni could have left this and probably got a wide. He starts wide, goes wider. Instead, he helps it over backward square leg for 6. It rattles into the fence. And suddenly this game's looking very one-sided. And it's MS Dhoni who's made the difference. That's a much better ball. And that bounces just in front there. That was a much better ball. Come on, young man. I know it's a superstar at the other end with the bat in his hand, but show him what you're made of. And that's a straight honour. Is there anybody there? No.
That's a good boundary.
22 or 5 balls for Dhoni. The dot ball was actually a brilliant ball, but yeah, not very good. Now who's going to come on now? So Hardik Pandya. He's just a player who makes things happen in any form of the game. And let's see what he can do here today. He's bowling to Suresh Raina. They've been teammates many times in the past. And that's just a good ball. That's a heavy ball. And all he can do is drive it to where the fielders are. And this is an odd field. They've got attacking field. And that's a good choice. They've got a slip and a gully and a man on 45 on the leg side. Oh, and that's Pandya all over. They've got to get the wickets. If this goes 10 overs and either of these batsmen are still there at the end, they're going to cruise the runs easily. Mainly thanks to Dhoni's last over. That's driven. Will the man come? Yes, I think he will. Running through treacle there, but a good sliding stop in the end. Don't know who the fielder is, but he throws at the bowler's end on the bounce.
You'll get 2 for that. Good shot.
Staying over the wicket to the left-hander. Now they can come round the wicket, of course. This is Suresh Raina, who's not playing that quick. And that really swings beautifully. That started on leg stump and was the away swinger to the left-hander, the in-swinger to the right-hander, and was heading towards his off stump towards the end. Dhoni leaning on his bat at the non-striker's end. In comes Pandya. And that's wide.
Wide there. Poor bowling.
He needs to bowl outside the off stump. That's where he's going to get the wickets. That's where he's got the defence. He's got a gully and a slip. He wants the nick. So you can't bowl too straight. That's the line. And it's a little bit short. That's actually a cross-bat shot. It's gone to wide, long off. But it's wickets they need now. This comes 4 overs and 1 ball to go, and they need 31 runs. So it's less than 8 runs an over. And that's a good ball. That's swinging back into off stump from outside. So in the context of the over, that was good. But in the context of where the game is, after all the runs that other bowlers have conceded, not so good. Okay, well, Chahar having a second over. Oh! And Dhoni chases a wide one. He probably could have left that and just taken the run and the extra ball. Well, that was a strange shot, especially with the slip there. And he gets some dip, but it's too straight. He gets some loop, some dip, but it's hit through square leg, backward square leg for 4. Not sure Chahar's the choice here. I think his confidence was battered by those 3 sixes. And only 27 runs off 21 balls. This match is drawing to a conclusion. There's some real dip there, and that's sort of the slog sweep along the ground that just beats the fielder at mid-wicket for 4. Let's have a look at how Dhoni plays this. He has to get down low to play this and shovel it. Yeah, that's a real shovel shot through to the leg side. Sort of a Dhoni-esque shot, breaking the wrists, which Dhoni, of course, is quite famous for doing. And that loops in, and Dhoni gets an outside edge, but he's going at the bat hard. Thick bats, it goes backward point, 4 runs. And with 19 needed off 19 balls, this should be a cakewalk for Chennai Super Kings. That's too straight. There's a fielder there and he gets away with it.
And through for 1.
So the end of the over, that's the end of Chahar as well. And Dhoni's on 34 off 10 balls, I think. So that's brilliant. In comes Kieran Pollard. Big lad. He's coming off a short run. He's keeping a slip in. Got to, really. Oh, and an outside edge. He's getting a little bit of wobble. 18 required off 17 balls. In comes Pollard again to Dhoni. And that's just too square of the man at backward point. Dear oh dear, here we go again. And that's in the air. Well, it was a half volley, it was right there, right at his feet. And that's where MS likes it. And there's a 52-run partnership from 21 balls. And it's been nearly all Dhoni. Rayner's on 14. Dhoni's on 45 or 14 balls. This is a masterclass from MS. Well, there we go. He swivels on that. It's slightly short. Pollard doesn't have the pace to bowl short. That was 71.4 mile an hour. That was league cricket net bowling speed, and the ball didn't do anything except whiz over the square leg boundary. And there's Dhoni. Sorry, that's Dhoni's. Is that a 6? Good grief. Well, there we are. There's Dhoni's 50. 15 ball 50. 2 needed now off more than 2 overs. And that's, well, there's half of them. Well, we've got to look at, this is telling us that we're going to have to rethink Mumbai's bowling for the next game they play. That's that side off. Dhoni drives that. The fielder comes round, but the one's going to be enough to finish the game, I think. Yeah, takes him to 101. It's an even slower ball, 67 mile an hour. And that's the end of the game. First game of the International Premier League 10-10 tournament. Mumbai Indians versus CSK. Won by the CSK thanks to MS Dhoni with the bat and Jadeja with the ball. Not a close game, but is it going to reflect the real IPL match taking place on Saturday the 7th of April? Fingers crossed, let's find out. Scritty signing off.